Hey guys, so I figured I would make some DIY videos about painting. So I'm staining a fence in Summerside right now. It's a two-tone fence, so we got the darker on the top and the lighter in the middle. We're gonna go through the step process. So the first step is I just power wash everything, try to get rid of the loose paint. Just use a pretty standard power washer. I didn't want to use, I got two gas power, but if you get too close, you can rip holes through the wood basically, and I didn't want to do that, so I am just using a little electric one that you can get at Canadian Tire or whatever. Pretty basic. It's great for decks and fences, anywhere you want to peel off the paint but you don't want to hurt the wood. So I use a little bit of a lighter one. I don't know what size it is. I'll post it on my website and with this video on YouTube or whatever. And so anyways, I power wash it. Now I'm doing the middle part, and I'm gonna do the trim after. I'm really doing this to give people information about doing it themselves, and I love feedback from people, and that's gonna help me to make my business better. So I got my sprayer here with a 517 tip. It's a Graco. You can rent a Titan or whatever from the thing. Use the tip that I'm using is for like doing drywall and stuff, so it's doing large quantity fast, so it puts out a lot of paint. So I'll just show you a little sample here in this section. I got my brush here. I got a nice big stain brush that I've used a lot of times, and it's still really good. Painted about 5 fences with this thing already. It's about 30 bucks. Even for a DIY, it's worth that $30 just to get that. It's a big, I think it's a 6-inch. You can get even an 8-inch, but this one works pretty good for me. And I'll back brush everything just to really get that stain in the wood and protect it better. You always start off doing your edges. Like I said, I want to get that underside, make sure it's protected. Always going on an angle because I don't want the overspray to go on the neighbor's yard. You can do a section at a time. I like to go both angles. Then I'll get a lot of stain on there. Always on the tops and bottoms, you want to give it a little extra brush. Seems to be the light spots where people usually miss. Then you'll see dry sections on the fence there when you're painting it. You can really tell, and you can push it in. That's why these brushes are great. You can really push it in. You don't have to use a lot of force. I just kind of turn it sideways and push it in those dry areas. So you're gonna say, well, I'm back brushing, so why do I need a sprayer? And you don't really need a sprayer, but what the sprayer is good for is just that extra process of getting the paint on your surface that you're trying to paint. So once you get it on there, you wanna get it on there pretty nice. And then give her a good brush, especially a little extra paint in the dry areas. Depends what kind of job was done previously, but most of the fences were painted. My fence was painted really well in Summerside the first time. And then it all depends who does it and who does it if they do it properly. So that's it. I'm gonna do a little section there, and then I'll finish that, and I guess I'll just leave this going. Maybe do a little speed up or whatever, and then I can edit all this. It's my first video. I don't know. I'll get the video working better. I need a tripod and all that, but this is just my I'm just painting. I figured, hey, help people out. Just give them a few lessons on how to do it properly. So just helps everybody out in the long run. You do it properly, it lasts longer, and then the next person who paints it, it's easier for them. Okay, so here we go in fast motion. So you want to put on enough stain that it's filling in those dry areas really nice, but you don't want to do too much where it's leaving brush lines. It's a stain, so what it's basically meant to do is just get pushed into the wood and fill that wood, protect it. There you have it. There's a nice little section done. Time is 17 minutes, so that's 17 minutes for that part. The pressure washing took me an hour and a half. I believe this is like a medium size fence. It's in between. It's on a duplex, so I think I charged her about $385 for this one, and it's gonna take 6 or 7 hours in total. It's super hot, it's like 30 degrees out today. Hey guys, so again, I'm new at this. We got a little bit of overcast today, it's the next day. So I went around and I put the one coat in the middle, and now I'm doing the outside. So I've done a bit of the fence here, and yeah, a little bit of overcast is calling for showers, but you never know. It could rain in certain areas with showers. Showers are unpredictable. Yeah, so I'm gonna keep going and see how it turns out. Won't do much to it if it's wet and it rains a little bit. If it pours, it might run, and then you just have to come back and touch it up after, so it's no big deal. So I'm gonna take my chances, and here we go. So I got a sprayer, so I've lowered down the tip, so I got a 310. It's like a finishing tip for doors and stuff, doors and cabinets or whatever, but I don't know, with an airless sprayer, you don't really want to do doors and cabinets. You want to use an HVLP sprayer. It'll give it a little more of a wood finish and clear coat finish, and then make it look a lot nicer. But I'm gonna use the airless. I got a big thing, but you just need a small little 490 or whatever airless sprayer. Rent them from Home Depot. So I've got that with my little fine finishing 310 tip on it, and then I've got my blocker, of course, which I use quite a bit for staining fences. And I'll show you in this section here how I'm gonna do the edges. It's pretty simple. I'll make sure you keep your blocker nice and clean. and sprayed it. I'll use my brush. I'll clean off the blocker. Get that extra paint off. Wipe this. This will just go away when you cut your grass. So wipe this on the grass. Get my edge nice and clean. And then I did a little bit of an overspray over there. No big deal. Touch up later. Even use your brush. You're worried about hitting the fence again. And use that blocker. Even with just a brush. For this part, I use the sprayer just because I have it at my disposal, but it honestly doesn't really save me much time. If I got a little bit of bucket with some paint and I just dip this thing in there and I get this thing rocking, and I still use the blocker in the same way. Keep cleaning the back off and the edge. I want the back part clean and the edge, so I just wipe it on the grass. And yeah, you can just go around with the brush, use the blocker, and I'll save you a lot of time with trying to cut that nice edge, and it'll look a lot cleaner at the end. And that's pretty much it. So show you how it looks after we're done. And we started that this morning. I've just been at it for about 20 minutes. And you can see what I sprayed there yesterday. And I'll finish doing that today. I can do a little time lapse again, see if it works. I back brush everything because that's going to get the stain to really penetrate that wood, and that's what you want. With paints, it's pretty much a layer on top of your surface, but with stains, you really want it to penetrate, and that's going to give you your long-lasting finish. And when you back brush it just gives it a full, you make sure you cover everything nicely. And so in 10 years, it's still going to look decent. It might be faded from the sun or whatever, but I'll show some pictures of fences that were just sprayed. And I'll show you and you'll see very clearly after years how it fades and how your protection is on the fence. So I know it's a little bit more hard work to back brush, but I recommend it just to give you that long lasting, full looking finish. And it's gonna last you 10 years. And if you go the other way, 5 years, it's gonna look like it's gonna need another touch up. So, you know, that's, in the long run, it's a little bit harder work, but you're definitely going to save money and time by doing the proper steps. And it depends on what kind of person you are. Everybody's different. They want it to be perfect or they want it to be a certain way. That is going to give you a long lasting full coverage right there. You don't have to do anything else. But if you want to go touch it up, you know, and make it perfect, you go to any degree that you feel comfortable with. But right there, it looks good other than some big touch ups. So I'll hit like 5 spots. And other than that, it looks decent where nobody's gonna be like, oh, that's ugly. It looks professional, and most importantly, you're getting that long-lasting coverage and protection that is gonna make your fence last. If you keep on it and protect your fence properly, it should last 50 years. If you don't, you're looking at 20, and you gotta